I made this?
This the rant of the real. Everybody telling lies, the truth first, so it's fuck how they do feel. Or you for real? Man, put that on your mama, you a gangster and you got more shit for real. This the rant of the real. Everybody telling lies, the truth first, so it's fuck how they do feel. Or you for real? Man, put that on your mama, you a gangster and you got more shit for real.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rant to the Real, the pod where real niggas get on here and rant. This is the #1 podcast in the top 50. No need to look that up. Google is wrong. They're mining your data right now. I would not trust them. I am your host, Uncle Trav. I am the hardest working in the world. It does not matter if it's podcast or just regular anything. I'm gonna outwork you. And I just gotta be the hardest at it. But I'm the hardest working podcaster in the world. Now let's start your day off with eggs, bacon, vibes, and I bring you nothing but vibes today. Today is a great day. Yeah, I mean, I always say that every week. I'm like, it's a great day, but nah. Today feels like one of those super better days. Like, I don't know, I feel really good. Like myself type thing, you know? Like, maybe the rut is over. Maybe the storm is quieted, you know? Maybe there's another day for, like, I don't know. Sometimes you got to win the war in your mind before you can win the war among the world. And I feel like we have won the war in the mind. These last couple of weeks have been rough. I'm not going to lie. It's hard to find motivation sometimes, you know? It's like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, do I have it in me to do this today? Do I have it in me to go to the gym today? No. I get it another week. I think one of the bigger issues with, like, not getting a lot done that I had set for me to do was that I had put too much on my plate. Like, I feel as if I just put a bunch of stuff on. I'm spinning plates and I'm doing the acrobatics act. I'm dancing. I'm putting a show on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing the monkey dance, and I feel as if that is biting me. You know, it was like too much work, too many spinning plates. Take some of these plates off and actually, like, focus on one thing at a time. And then once you get that one thing at a constant mediocre rate, maybe add another plate. Because, I don't know, trying to spin 12 plates while you truly are at this is not the right height. Truly at the beginner level, it's just not working, you know? And I think that's where a lot of my fuck it, if I fail at all of it, it's better than just failing at one of it. Because it's like, damn, I got 6 things going on, and I can't hit all of them like I want to. And, you know, life changed, schedule changed. So when I was doing it, I was able to successfully, you know, juggle all that. But then when things changed, the schedule changed, my after work to free time is literally an hour. It's not easy to do all that anymore. And when I was at work, I was able to juggle all those other things because the free time was there. It's not there right now. And you can get on yourself because you're like, damn, I was able to do 7 things at once and I no longer can. And you get in a rut, you know? You feel like, damn, I can't do it. I might as well do none of it. So I believe that I was definitely where I was at because it was a lot that I was supposed to do, and I was doing none of it solely because I couldn't do 1 or 2 of the things. So it's time to take some spinning plates off. Time to juggle. Stop juggling. Clear the mind. And just focus on really one, maybe two things. Something that's easy to handle. You know, it was easy, working overnight. You ain't really doing shit. It's easy to do 3 classes in 12 hours, get the homework done, hit the gym after or before work, all that good stuff. The job is only a 10-minute drive. Hell, I could do it in 5. It's not the same balance now when the job is an hour and 10 minutes away. Got to be there at 7, so I got to get up at 4. Got to be out the house at 5:30. Hit there. All right, we done at 5:30 at work. Then trudge that bitch back. So now I'm getting home closer to 7:10. I got to go to bed around 8, 9 because I got to be up at 4. So I can't do, 3 different subjects in school, foreign language, cybersecurity, computer programming, shit like that, and then still try to hit the gym all in that same block. It's just not going to work. So I got to take some stuff off the plate, slow some spinning wheels. Because realistically, the times change, the schedule change. And when, I can go back to the job being 10 minutes away, I'll be able to spin more plates. But I think right now, I got to focus on just doing the one major task and getting that done within the time frame and the allotted slot window that I have. Because realistically, I can do 30 minutes of homework and I can do 30 minutes at the gym. Is it a full hour? No. But I can do 15 minutes cardio, 15 minutes strength training. Just got to figure out how to divide the time. It's all about using what you got. It usually takes, I listen to this motivational speaker. I don't know if he's a motivational speaker. I know he's a super, businessman. That's what he do, is he just do business. And I listen to him a lot because there's a lot of messages and things, and you take what you need from it, and everything else may not apply to you. And just because he may be telling you how to run a business doesn't mean you can't apply that same ethic in your work, in your everyday life. And a lot of those things that he talks about hits the podcast, hits the photography, it hits the school. It's hitting other avenues, and it's not just it's not just about business. And, you got to discipline these skills, train them, get them right. We move on to level 2. And lately I've been sitting and staring at level 5, and I haven't at all put the skills where they need to be. So we're getting back to it. There's no point in being hard on a real nigga and being like, you should have did better. No, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But right now I got to do what must be done. And what must be done is we must finish school. So that has to be moved to the number 1 spot. Even if it's just one subject at a time, because I pay for it to take at my own pace. Let me do it one at a time. But yeah, I have noticed that, the level of quality has suffered the last 2 weeks because it's always go, juggle. It's not going to work. And honestly, it took today to finally, not today really. I was kind of thinking it last week, Wednesday. But today was, really the clarity. Because I ain't going to lie to you. The drive to work and the drive from work is a long time of just peace and quiet and nothing but open road. And there's really no distractions. So it's truly not hard to throw something motivational and inspirational on to, get the mind going. I ain't really been listening to music because, I don't really want to hear my playlist right now. It's a little too dark, and I ain't really in the mood for all that right now. It's not time to grab the guns and load out. You know what I mean? It's not time for that right now. So it's not time to listen to that music. And I've added a lot of stuff that has not in that genre lately, but still, Music is not what I need right now. You know what I mean? I need to hear these motivational speeches on how to do better and what areas to fix. And I figured out, a couple areas to fix, working on, tighten up. So I will be putting out more shorts and more stuff like that because I got to push more content. Got to reach the masses. And I'll never do that, only putting one video up a day. That just is not going to work. So you'll be seeing a lot more of me out there, y'all. Whole lot more. But enough about me and what's going on. What's going on with you guys? You guys having a good week? You do anything amazing? You can always tell me in the comments. I love you guys. I usually respond. What happens is I separated church from state. And I moved everything that's not personal to my other phone. And granted, I carry the other phone. I just don't ever feel when it goes off, and I don't hear when it's quiet. Even if you got it on lock max ring, you still don't hear it, and the vibration is so gentle, you just don't feel it. So the notifications just. It's not the best system, but I wanted to keep everything separate, so all the social medias are strictly on that phone only. And so I have to carry it so that way I can upload, and then it usually just goes wherever, it just sits on the desk, and I check it periodically, and then I'm like, dang, that was 4 hours ago. Oh, well, what can you do? But yeah, so all of my socials and everything over there. So tell me exactly what's going on with you guys. My dog recently had puppies. I was not prepared for that. Gonna be completely honest with you. That was not something that I was prepared to do. I truly thought the dog was sick and dying, and I was gonna have to shell out a bunch of money to go to the vet. I truly was not ready to pay the bill that comes with the vet, because I feel like the vet is like a mechanic. They know they can screw you over, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's especially when you're in a dire situation, when your car break down, you get it towed to the nearest junkyard because whatever, the tow truck charged by the mile. And then the dude tells you, oh, yeah, this is all broke. You got to fix the carburetor, the catalytic converter, and you need new tires. And it won't start because your engine block got a hole in some hose they got to take apart. And then you like, dang, I got $500. And they like, yeah, add 2 more zeros. You at their mercy at that point. It's like, dang, whatever it takes to get this car up and running, I have to pay it. Whatever it takes. And the same thing with the vet. It's like, yo, whatever it takes to get my dog back, because they usually take your dog and you don't see it until you pay them. And usually they come out of nowhere with this itemized list of issues or things that they see, and they're like, yeah, you need to do this, and you like, I got no choice but to pay it. Because A, I won't be getting the dog back. And B, I need him to be healthy. And then it's all a crapshoot. Because it's like, what if you do pay all of that and it still fails or it doesn't work? You pay all this stuff to the mechanic and then the car still breaks. Or, the dog still gets sick and dies or whatever the case may be. And it's like, dang. I paid all that I didn't want to pay or couldn't pay just for this to happen. But yeah, I truly thought I called the emergency number. They told me that they no longer do walk-ins, which is crazy because if it's an emergency vet, why do you no longer do walk-ins? You only do appointments. And you only book appointments on the day of. You don't book them out. So if I wanted an appointment for tomorrow, I have to call tomorrow to book tomorrow's appointment. System seems very broken. It seems like an organized way to screw people over. No. But I digress. I was going to pay whatever needed to be paid to make sure that the dog was all right. And then when babies started to pop up, And it was like, oh, that's why. Okay, makes sense. We're good. We avoided a $5,000 bill. We avoided it. Which it's definitely a sight to see. You know, like I mean, I have never seen any of them actually get like pushed out and be birthed, but I have seen them an hour or 2 hours into the world. Very small, very fragile little things. Very cute. But it was still a shock, and it was something I was not ready for. So, who knows? It's only 3 right now. So it's like, do I keep the 3 or do I just sell them all? We gotta see. We gotta run the books, crunch the numbers, see what happens. You know, because $5, that's a lot. That's a lot of food, a lot of patience, a lot of training. Is that another spinning plate? I gotta weigh these out. I gotta write these down. I gotta stare at it every day. I gotta see, is this an idea? That one of the things that helps me decide on if I'm gonna pick or choose something, because I've been wanting to make more permanent decisions. Because sometimes making decisions sucks. Because you're like, dang, I gotta make this decision. I gotta do it fast. So I've been making more decisions in a quickly manner, and I've been writing them down, and I've just been staring at them, and I've been weighing the options. And if I have to watch a reference or a video or run to an idea, quick think board, sub-paragraph it off, I then start eliminating things based off of what I would and wouldn't like out of those outcomes. And I do it very quickly. We have a fast turnaround here. This isn't like a month-long thing. One of the things that I learned is that speed makes things better in the long run, because I make a decision. All right, I didn't take 2 hours to make that decision. I did it in 5. It only took 10 minutes to fuck up. Fix it. That takes 30 minutes. 2 hours later, I have made a decision, found a problem, fixed problem, got better at things. We gotta live with what decisions we make. And if it's truly something that's like a yes, say yes, and then fix whatever happens later. The outcomes are the outcomes. That's where we're at, though. That's what we're doing. But enough about me. Like I told you earlier, it's about y'all. I will truly never understand how people pay bills, DoorDashing, Uber Eats, the one where you grocery shop for people, can't think of the name. I never understand it, because the profit to, the gross to net, it's not there. Like, especially if you're like driving a car. Like, don't get me wrong, great way to do small things. Because I do DoorDash sometimes for small things. Like, I only do it because the goal is $20. I'm not doing this shit to pay a bill. It's, what? We need drinking money. You know what? It's a quick little date money. This is a date to begin with. You know what I mean? Let's ride around and do some Uber Eats real quick. This is, I actually do want to go out to a restaurant, but I don't really have the money for it. Quick little 20, 30. Now I can do what I want. And those constraints, yes. And like, if you live in a city where you can bike and do it, yes. When it then comes to you driving and you gotta pay bills and all this, I don't understand. I truly am lost as how people make a profit, because you can't possibly be doing that well at this point, or you have to be driving working so hard that it's gotta be frustrating. Because think about it, it takes an hour and a half to make that $20. You know what I mean? It takes a long time to make that. especially when, people ain't tipping or you doing little short runs for like little stupid stuff. Like sometimes stuff will pop. And it negatively hurts you when you say no to like the dumb stuff. It'd be someone wants a small French fry from McDonald's and they live, 500 feet away. Well, the fry is only $1.99, so $2. Then you gotta think about the delivery fee, the tax. They probably spent about 10. What really are you making off this? Nothing. So you say no because this is pennies and it's pointless. Walk your lazy ass up there. But then sometimes it'll pop back up. Well, if you say no again, that shit gonna negatively impact you. So now you gotta take this. So you spend a lot of time. And if you ever picked up some of the worst places to ever pick up food from is McDonald's, Dash Mart, and honestly any fast food that's a major name, like Burger King, Wendy's, shit like that. Like the ones that are major names. Like the ones that they all major names, don't put it like that. But the ones that is not as common, like Sonic or Dunkin' Donuts, shit like that. It's not really as a hassle as it is like when you go to the Don's, there's 30 people out there, everybody got a number, your number not even up yet, they still doing drive-through orders, it's chaos. You end up sitting there for 20 to 40 minutes, which doesn't count towards your money for you to make the $2 fucking. I don't understand people pay their bills. And then you gotta think about at the end, after a certain point, you gotta pay taxes on it. I think it's over $600. You gotta pay taxes. DoorDash is untaxed money, so that means now you gotta set whatever it is your tax bracket is, because everyone's tax bracket is different. Some people might be able to get away with the 10%. Some people gotta pay 20. Some people gotta pay 30 and up. So now it's what is your percentage that you have to put away? Then you gotta think about your gas. Maybe you gotta get an oil change. Maybe you gotta do all this other stuff. How are you making money? I'm truly lost. And then this is no shade at people who do this job, but I truly never understood why people go get shit jobs and then complain that it's a shit outcome or pay. I'm not knocking drivers, fast food workers, caterers, stuff like that. But let's be realistic. These are shit jobs. These obviously aren't and shouldn't be how you keep the roof over your head and the lights on. But life happens. Maybe you couldn't go to college. You got kids. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe you've been there for 10 years. It's comfortable. Whatever the case may be. But when you choose to pick a lane, you go down that lane. Why be surprised when you knew the road smelled like a skunk? You continue to go down there smelling the skunk. And then when you get to the bottom of the road, you see the dead skunk and then complain that there's a skunk. I truly never understood that. I never understood the fact of if you don't like something, why stay and complain? If it's truly that bad, find something else. I hated my job where I was at before this one. I despised coming to work. I despised the people I worked with. I did not like the people we serviced. I hated every second of it. And it was starting to make me angry, and I was becoming someone I didn't like. So I changed it, and I went and found something else. And I like this. I'm cool with this for now. And if it comes to a point where I don't like it, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to change it. Why sit and stay in hell if I don't have to? Now, I understand. Case by case, circumstance. There are people that are in positions where I'm assuming they have to stay where they are. But do you? Just because you have kids, does that mean you have to stay at this job? If you have a wife, there's a partnership, right? Isn't there a certain point where, you can maybe talk to each other and be like, hey, my skills are inadequate for the money I have. Can we switch? You work, I go to school. Get more money, vice versa. Or, you start going to school, I'll continue working, and then I don't know. Then maybe I can go to school. I don't know. I don't know y'all life situations. I don't know how y'all wives or husbands think or work. I guess there's a certain point where you have to be humble and you have to accept the fact that you can't always be Superman. There is a time where you have to be Lois Lane, male or female. There's a certain point where you need to be saved. Like you cannot come through and save the day. And I think a lot of people just don't want to admit that. And that probably has nothing to do with like people stay at shit jobs, they don't want help. But it's a correlation. We're going there. Run with me. But yeah, like you drove for 6 hours, right? Let's say at best you made $60. You got to put a bare minimum 20 in the tank. So for 6 hours, all you got was $40 out of it. There's no way in hell that's profitable, yo. Then you got to think about you got hungry while you was doing it. Because I didn't DoorDash before, and I didn't been to some pretty awesome looking restaurants. I'm like, I never seen this. I never heard of this. And I didn't pause the dash to take the money to go to that restaurant to try it. I didn't did it before. So I know somebody else has probably done this before. Because it's like, I've never heard of this. This is a nice little quaint Asian fusion bar. This is a nice hole-in-the-wall pub. You know what I mean? This menu looks great. Because while you're sitting there waiting, you're not going to look at the menu? You're not curious? Nothing? I am, at least. So it's like, I truly don't understand how people pay bills. And then there are other people who, like immigrants who can't make their own account, don't have their own account, so they use someone else's. And then they rent that account. So now they got to bust their ass to make all this money, pay the person whose name this is under, and pay bills. I don't understand where the profit comes from. Like, at what point are you pocketing money? Maybe I'm looking at it from too much of a logical mindset. Maybe it's simpler than how I'm breaking it down. I don't know. It's not for me to decide. Like I said, I'm not judging. I have worked shit jobs before. But when I didn't like them, I left them motherfuckers. Goodbye. You know what truly upsets me? It's the, like, super manly community leaders that act like hoes. Like, you created this image that you are him. I mean, like, if there's a problem, you go to him, you solve it, end of case, right? Like, you have created that you are the Enso, the say-so, the head, the rock, yeah, me, like, nothing gets by without your say-so. That is the image that you have portrayed and you go with. So then why is it that I feel as if those guys are the quickest to crumble and fold and cry under the most simplest human emotions or uncomfortability? Because it's like, if you put on the mask that you are Iron Wall, you can't then crumble at the first flick at the Iron Wall. You know what I mean? Like, if the mafia boss is, he enforces it. You know what I mean? He doing all this crazy stuff. He taking people out. He doing this. He doing that. And then let's say he find out his lady cheating and he have an emotional wreck. The henchman is not going to look at him the same. They're going to be like, oh, what the hell is wrong with this man? Tighten up. You supposed to be MLF. You him. What is you doing crying? What is you doing acting like a little man baby. You know what I mean? I'm talking simple, human emotions. Yeah, the shit hurt, but like, if once you've created this facade, you have to always be in that facade. There's not a moment where you can put it down. You are that person. And it's like, if you're the community leader, why is it that every little thing you fold and cry for? And then it also amazes me that the Super Bowl men, the super tough guys, will fold and crack under the pressure, and then when the women do it, it's tighten up, little nigga. You know what I mean? Like I've walked a lot of different shoes, and I've seen a lot of different things, and I've noticed that's usually the people that they're the big, strong, I am iron wall. Fold and crumple when it's my leg hurts or my tooth hurts. So all right. You have a slight inconvenience to your day. Get off the floor. Stop crying. You know what I mean? Put your chest back out. But when the women have that slight inconvenience to the day, it's, bitch, get up. You still got cooking to do. You still got cleaning to do. You still got babies to take care of. Here's a slap for motivation. Why? Maybe my mindset is different, but like, if you put the facade out there that this is who you are, I expect you to be in them shoes every time. And the minute that you do not wear those shoes, I personally will look at you different, because why aren't you in those shoes? You're the one that put them on. You're the one that showed them to me. So wear them. I do the same. I am exactly who I show you I am at that time. All the way around. And those shoes do not come off or change for nothing. If I told you I am Iron Root, I am Groot, then I will be goddamn Groot. And you won't see me cry, you won't see me wince. And when I can find a corner that no one will see me, then maybe I'll go cry and wince. It's not every community leader, don't get me wrong. I've noticed that some specifically do this. And maybe it's bias, maybe it's not. Maybe there's a hint in the message, maybe there's not. You never know. But if you truly think about what I'm saying and actually think about, oh yeah, they do act like little hoes sometimes. Why? You can't step out of character when you're in public. You gotta stay in that character. Because then how do you expect the community to stay behind you? At what point do they be like, nah, we need a new leader. When is there a coup? At what point does it go, nah, this man ain't one of us. He different. Or does it take a bunch of times and then you be like, something is amiss. Yeah, I truly don't be knowing. I heard this. I had to look it up for myself. And then I had to let you guys know. There's a lot of things happening and being snuck in. And I recently found out one of these super bills that Trump has passed. This man is looking into possibly unbanning asbestos. I guess something Joe Biden did that completely nah, we don't even fuck with this stuff at all. And Trump's like, well, hold on. Let's think about it. Asbestos will kill you. So what I know about asbestos is this little tiny little particle, and it has hooks. And those hooks, when you breathe them in, attach to you, and they don't let go. And that's why people, can't breathe, they get sick, cancer, stuff like that. Because now you have this microparticle, foreign body object in you that will never unattach from what it's connected to. But what I find super interesting about this whole thing, about him, looking into the asbestos unbanning, is that majority of asbestos comes from Russia. I don't think Trump does things for no reason. Because if you look at the track record and the history, the reason why we were, helping Ukraine was to take their lithium. Lithium was needed for Tesla's batteries. That was when Elon was the second highest ranking person in the U.S. with power when he was in charge of Doge. I mean, I don't know if you fucking saw it when they sat down with J.D. Vance and they basically grilled that man, told him, bow down, shut up, give us your minerals, and we'll help you, defeat the Russians. And on the same hand, he goes over to the Russians, just like, give us your asbestos, we'll probably help you beat them. I don't think this man just does shit for no reason. Everything that he does has to have a purpose. I'm lost as to what's the purpose of the asbestos, though. Like, why? It was never a good thing ever. And the fact that, they still trying to get this shit out of hospitals is a problem. I don't know. Maybe it's conspiracy. Maybe it's one of those reaching too deep kind of things. Like, nah, he wouldn't. That's our favorite president. You wouldn't possibly do that. I have been, looking at some of the things that have been, banned. And, there's a lot of Chinese products that are just, straight up no-go. And that truly sucks for some of those, products and companies where they rely on the U.S. sales. The DJI was a little iffy on, what they use your data on. They kind of were just like, we're not stealing it, but we're not going to tell you what we're doing with it either. Shady. But then again, it's the only company where you can get drones. You don't have other option. And, there's, Insta360. Same deal. There's always going to be a give and take when it comes to doing business with anyone. Are you okay with the fact that they might have your data and sell it? Are you okay with the fact that, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter do the same fucking thing that the Chinese people are doing, but only domestically? What's the difference at this point? It's someone using my phone to listen in or look at whatever the fuck they want to whenever they deem is necessary. Is it different because it's not domestic? Who knows? But all right, y'all, we're going to call it a day. We're going to wrap it up. You guys already know that camera is not happy. It's ready to go. But tune in next week, y'all. We're going to have great content, amazing content. Shout out to those boys and girls over there at Patreon. You guys are the reason why I keep going. One of many reasons. I think the second reason why is we are 150 something. At this point, you don't throw in the towel at 150. You know what's crazy is I'm in the top 1% of podcasters. Most people, 99% of people start a podcast don't make it past episode 1. And then only 20% make it past episode 20. 1% make it past that. So I'm in the 1%. I can't, honestly, you got to get no better than that. And then I think I just got some statistic for something, I popped up as number 6 for some category. So, hey, we're climbing. But tune in next week, y'all.